do it. Yo, 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 talking shit, getting clicks. Insane. You already know, talking shit, getting clicks. I'm your host, Mo, 3 times. And this is what we got for you this evening. Big Meech is home. Free Lyle and Erik. Oh, yeah. Why y'all offended by what Barack Obama said? I mean, all of these things plus more we are going to explore. I have no idea what's going on here. Just listen to these beautiful jams and we'll get it in. What's going on? Yo, I had this all set up to show you something. I did magnificent earlier today. What's going on, everyone? What's going on the horns for everybody? I don't see anything. I got a gnat in here all day, chilling, working on this show. No, not one type of other living being other than myself. I think Django was here for a couple seconds. But damn it, now I got a gnat. It's messing me up. Yo, I want to try something real quick, too, while I got you guys here. I'm just getting set up, guys. Please, regard me. I had an opportunity to get my hands on some wings and some pizza, and I made an executive decision. Horns for that. And I'm a little behind right now. All right, I want to try something. I don't even know if this is gonna work, but let's start that.
Ramit said Mo Jets got Devontae Adams. He's one of the favorites.
Yeah, we figured that he'd be getting it. But yeah, Devontae is back with Aaron Rodgers. You know what that means, though. That definitely means that they're going to be hooking up on those long bombs because that's what he throws to them. Like, what's going to happen with the other receivers on that team, Ra? Tell me. What's going to happen to what's the boy's name?
Who?
Is it Mike? I want to say Wallace. I'm out of control right now. You want to know why? Because actually, I've been...
Wilson, the wide receiver?
Yeah, the wide receiver. Devontae's going to be number 1 now. He bought over Adam Lazard, right? Mm-hmm. They got Lazard on that team. I wanted to see if I could possibly...
Lazard just caught his Hail Mary this weekend, even though they still lost. Actually, Monday.
Insane. I fell asleep on that game, didn't I?
Mm-hmm. 7:30 before the game started.
I was knocked out. I was definitely knocked out. I woke up at 1:30 in the morning, right? And I came in here and I started playing this game called Undisputed. Let me show you this game for you guys. Let me show you what's going on here. By the way, it's gonna get warm in here. And when it does, it's coming out. It's coming out. I don't know, this probably. All right, so check this out. This is Undisputed. It's the new follow-up to Fight Night or the Knockout Kings, the final round, whatever. And this new company. So as you can see, we're not gonna show this because I got dogged. As you can see, 10. I didn't even my God. But anyway, I picked Bud Crawford, as you can see, and I'm going against Sergio Martinez, one of the greats. and we are getting into a rumble. It was a crazy rumble. I'm gonna go scroll down a little bit more because let me show you what we are in round 8 of 8. Let me paint this picture for you right now. We are in round 8 of 8. I am down on the scorecards. I'm down on the scorecards. I'm down by at least 2 points on the scorecards. So I need a knockdown. I need a knockdown. Now, I've put him on the canvas already. I think he put me on the canvas already, but he's got me like, if you know these boxing games, they can hit you with like a power punch and get you like woozy, where they can follow up and actually put a combination on you and knock you out. Listen, regard me. Give me this 2 minutes and 6 seconds. I know it's a video game, but it's good. And like I said, I'm Terrence Crawford. This guy I'm fighting is Sergio Martinez. And his record is way better than mine online. They might say I'm spamming these power punches, but there's nothing else I could do.
Is he gonna punch himself out though?
But Meech said he got the same game on Xbox.
Oh, well, pull up, Ramen. You can catch these digital dukes.
Does he have to have the same game?
Yeah.
Well, he got it on Xbox.
Yeah. He's got it on Xbox. I don't know if we can both play. I don't know if it's cross-play. We'll see, though. Look at this, though. Yeah. I'm missing. Mind you, down by 2. Need 2. Need that knockdown, at least. And time is ticking. The sand is running from the hourglass, if you will. Oh, that landed. That landed. Little right uppercut check. Oh, he's throwing body punches. You saw that little body wiggle like that? No, and he dazed me. 26 seconds and I'm dazed and I need a knockout. I'm about to get knocked out. I'm still throwing power punches. I don't care because I'm a champion. 10 seconds. 9. Oh, he's stunned now. He's stunned. Oh, I was working that body. Kind of like throwing him up power punches. I was landing those. Let's see if he gets up. Oh, man. Oh. Oh, that's what happens. That's what happens when you try to rumble with me. Let me put the chat in. Look at me being all selfish and stingy. Let me get the chat in. Man. All right, so I usually click on the show. Oh, that's what I sound like out here. I appreciate you guys for being out here right now. I appreciate it. I'm not going to try to be in here all night. I'm not trying to do that. I know you guys got lives to live, and I'm going to try to live my life as well. All right, so check this out. Chat's in full effect. Bam! I got that game sharing on Xbox. I'm game sharing with my nephew on PS5. Yeah, y'all got Devontae Adams. You know what happened? Ramen, let me tell you something. Actually, I don't even know if I can pull it up. I cannot log into my ESPN Fantasy Football on my computer, and it's throwing me. It has me locked in a tiz. Football, fantasy football. Login. I don't know my login name. It has to be iCloud. Password, trash word. Password, trash word. I don't know my password. Like, send me that code. All right, let me get my code, see if I can bring this up. Yo, let me tell you what. First and foremost, I would like to say I appreciate I appreciate my Philadelphia Eagles. Do you got your AirPod thing? You can hear me? Oh my goodness. So you're listening to me and then you're listening to me. Like, how does that not affect your brain at all?
Because I can keep up with what's here.
Oh.
It's not.
Oh, because I'm just talking and I'm having a hard time just...
Talking in the background.
Okay, I got you. I'm just saying, I'm having a hard time with me just being me.
Some people didn't get their notification. Caro never got a notification.
What? Guys, if you didn't get a notification, don't worry. Just hit the bell and then hit the bell again. Go Eagles. Yo, do I see, is Mainline in here?
There's no strategy.
Yay, happy birthday.
Happy birthday, baby.
He lives in this world.
Letting the children sing.
Okay, but
In the house, I'm not going to watch you play Xbox. That's messed up. Look at this. I was able to, y'all don't want to see my fantasy baseball. Let me show you something that's going on because honestly, I got to call the commissioner. There we go. This is the For the Birds. Well, I'm in the BWL league. I don't know what that stands for, but we'll find out when I call the commissioner in a second. Let me tell you something, guys. This is what's been going on with my fantasy football. This is just personal to me. This is just personal to me now. I appreciate you. As you can see, I'm for the birds because I like the birds. Philadelphia Eagles, Philly Street Tees, talkinggettingusa.com. Go pick yourself up one. But, right, I won 135 to 133. That's right. I won by two little itty bitty points, but I won. And I was ranked, I was supposed to come in 8th because the draft, they said I was 8th because I came in 8th last year. And I was in 8th place, and in power rankings I was 8th, and I beat this guy Southside Living Legends, which has he has a pretty damn good record. And guess what happened? I moved from 9th to 8th in the power rankings. Guess what he moved to? He went from like 7 to 3. How can I win? And the guy that I beat goes up in the power rankings, and I don't really go nowhere. Tell me that. That's what I want to know, and that is why I am about to call up the commissioner right now. Hey, Aunt Sherry. It's about to go down right now. It's going to be some drama in here. It's going to be some drama. Hold on. Let's see if I can dial out. Let's see if he picks up the phone. Let's see if he picks up the phone. Am I yelling?
Yeah.
I know I'm yelling. Can I call? I should call him from here, probably. Guess call in. I hate calling from here. Because I can't figure out. Oh, here it goes. Blah, 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 blah. Hold music, call studio, go at lines, then calls. I'm trying to call out. Hold on, let me just call a commissioner.
Where are you going?
Calling a commissioner.
Oh.
Hello, commissioner. Yo, can you please call Talking Shit Getting Clicks? Our phone number is 313. Hold on. Let me do it for the people out here. Also, yo, if you're not in here, come on over to the show. Come on over. That's right, guys. You guys call in. Well, I got to call in line. The commissioner's about to call in. He's going to call 313-825-5557. I'll be waiting for your call, commish.
What if he's busy?
Excuse me. I'll wait. I will wait. I'm going to wait. Oh, you know what? Michael just reminded me he was like, hey, how about Jerry Jones, the radio host interview? I know I'm going to pull this video up in a second. Pow. Jones. Listen to this. Listen to this effery. It's courtesy of ESPN. Okay. I can't hear anything. And it's an ad. It's scaring me. That I can't hear anything off of this ad. Hold on, the commission's in.
What's going on, people?
I don't even know if we should let the children sing for him, but we did already, so. All right, Commissioner.
I don't even really know why you're complaining, first and foremost.
All right, I'm sorry, what was that?
I don't even know why you're complaining right now. What is your beef?
Who's complaining?
3-3.
Oh, yeah, I'm complaining.
You're grinding.
This is why.
You know what I mean?
Is Will
You
on the
fucked
line?
yourself
Yeah,
out of a hole.
he's on the line right now.
Okay.
All right, so let me tell you what. First of all, what does BWL Fantasy stand for?
Blue Water Lakes Fantasy.
Blue Water Lakes?
Yes, sir.
Are you sure?
It was supposed to be a community football league. You know, I just had to make sure I got the right people in here.
You sure it's not the Big Willie League?
Never ever.
All right,
Crazy.
just making sure. All right, so Blue Water Lakes.
Yes, sir.
All right, I can dig it. All right, so check this out. As it is, I am now 3-3. I am at the bottom. You are 1-5 at the bottom. I didn't mean to throw you out there like that, but I am 3-3. I beat a team who is in the East, and he's atop the East with a 3-3 record. I beat the #1 guy in the East. He wasn't coming into this. He was 3-2. I was 2-3. I beat him, right?
Right.
I won.
Can I get a visual?
Oh, yeah. Hold on. Going over. Guys, I'm sorry I'm getting you wrapped up in this, but anybody else who's having some fantasy issues out here, I'm saying this is the time. Let's square this away. All right. So, to show you again, here we go. Last week, I beat Southside Living Legend 135 to 133. Now, when I go to my phone, because I don't know how to find it from here, because this is my first time logging into my computer for a minute. But I go to the power rankings, and I went from position 8 to 7th in the power rankings.
Oh, wow.
Meanwhile, I beat him, and he went from position 7 to 4.
Because I don't think society should be allowed to be that stupid.
Oh, wow.
Do you understand what I'm saying? You understand where my beef is coming from?
Well, it might be strength of schedule.
I'm sorry, strength of schedule?
It might be points scored, you know, throughout fantasy. Maybe that's why.
I'm taken aback. I don't like it. But anyway, I think I have you are next week. Oh, you know what? Also, I see I didn't pay my dues. I want to pay my dues. Right after the show, I'm gonna call you out. I'm gonna pay my dues because I gotta pay my dues. All right. Anybody out in fantasy, pay your fantasy dues.
Maybe that's why you're at the bottom.
That's probably why I'm in the bottom too, right? I haven't paid my fantasy dues. Damn. By the way, Commissioner, it is Mainline's birthday today. It's Mainline's birthday.
Whose
not
birthday?
today. It's Mainline's birthday. He just celebrated his birthday.
Oh, happy birthday.
Happy birthday, right?
Man.
Right before the show came on, Will, I was on Facebook, and what Mainline does is he be posting, he posts like songs that he's listening to, little grooves and everything, and he be having some throwbacks. He be having some throwback songs. So I'm laying on the bed listening to I've got to keep on loving you. Right? And this I think what are they called? Who sings this song? The Moments. The Moments sing a song called I've Got to Keep on Loving You. And to be honest with you, Will, you know how they sang that falsetto back in the day, right? I thought it was a female singing, and I was like, and the female was like, I got to get with you, girl. Like basically something like that along those lines. And I was like, oh my God, female on female back in the day, they were so progressive. But then I realized that it was a whole ass dude singing these sweet, tender melodies.
Feathery.
Oh man,
It's feathery note.
yeah, a little feathery. Well, I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna do with the missus. I'm gonna put that song on the aux, if you will. After this show, I'm gonna take her out in the BM, pull the sunroof down so she can get a little crisp fall air across those Napelias, and then I'm gonna get her some Starbucks, get her warm and cozy again, and then boom, that's my seduction. Yeah, don't be stealing my moves. Don't steal my moves.
Is it pumpkin spice weather?
It's pumpkin spice. It's pumpkin spice Uggs and tights. Uggs, tights, and pumpkin spice. That T-shirt is coming soon to Talking Getting USA. Get you your pumpkin lover one of those. Yeah. This evening. All right, so check this out, Kamish. This is what we got. Did you hear about Barack Obama's speech to black men specifically he was talking to earlier, late last week in Pittsburgh?
Oh, I need to hear this.
You haven't heard that? All right, I'm gonna play
I
it
have
because
not.
I mean, all over the internet, like Barack Obama has gone at black men before, and I mean, it was kind of distasteful. You know, people were kind of like, put him in that Bill Cosby pull up your pants type of, box. And he usually stares clear of that stuff, but he did. He had to voice some opinions about the black voters this time, and people are taking exception about it, and I just wanted to know why. Also, did you know that Big Meech of BMF fame is he's no longer incarcerated. He's still in the system.
He's on the way home, huh?
He's halfway home. He's at the halfway house. I don't know why I'm cheering because honestly, like I've heard the stories of Big Meech and I know that he is, kind of like for lack of a better word, a ghetto folk hero.
Who is he?
But we're going to talk about it in the show. We're going to talk about a little Big Meech. He's from BMF. BMF. You know what I mean? You never heard BMF on Stars?
Sexy Red wants to perform at his coming home party.
Sexy Red wants to perform at his coming home party. Ev Love just had some choice words about Sexy Red the other day. I don't get to listen to the radio anymore, so like we had Power 99 on, and that song came on, go sexy. And when she's singing, I do love that song. I am. I mean,
You were singing right along with it.
I wasn't singing like word for word, but I was like bopping to it. I don't know that. I don't know her music like that. Don't be
You
playing.
were
me.
singing it though.
Tell
I mean,
the truth,
by all
shame
means.
the devil.
There is the devil right now is feeling no shame. Or something like that. I don't know. But that's what happened. That is what happened. I love that song. All right, so not only do we have that, we also talk about Big Meech. We're also going, did you hear about that the Menendez brothers, their family kind of wants to see them go free now. So we're going to talk a little bit about that, about the Menendez brothers. I don't know.
Forgiveness in the heart.
I mean, do you remember that trial back in the day, right?
It was crazy. That was one of the first televised Jones, wasn't it?
It was like before the OJ trial, but it was one of the, I think it was the first televised trial on court TV, like full length, like from the rootin' to the tootin'. Remember the Cable Guy, the movie Cable Guy with Jim Carrey? The whole backdrop of that movie is the Menendez brothers case.
Is it?
Yeah, watch the movie again. Like interlaced between all the scenes is like everybody's watching this one case, and I think it's Ben Stiller is playing the Menendez brothers, and he's doing stupid stuff. I gotta watch that movie again, but check that out. What we watched lately? Deadpool and Wolverine. You see the old Deadpool Wolverine?
Great movie.
Great movie?
Yeah, even the wife liked that movie, yeah.
Right, the wife
I
liked
didn't
that?
know.
You didn't. Now tell me why you didn't like it. Because
I was kind of like, my opinion, it was a little bit cheesy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just being a Marvel fan, knowing Wolverine, reading the comics and knowing how he was. And even back in the day in the 90s cartoon, he was like a little rough around the edges. And this one, he was more, he played into that whole,
right,
I'm telling jokes type deal. I ain't kind of like it.
Oh, you didn't like him telling. I like when they're, come on, when they're fighting in the with the minivan, and he goes off on him.
The fight scene is amazing. Yeah.
Like I was like, damn, he's really mad. Like I kind of think like they had these real ass conversations while making this movie or leading up to like over the years of trying to get this movie made. But the fact that they're kind of like going at Disney and the executives and made an entire like movie out of how they made the movie and how the Marvel universe works is, I thought it was a brilliant idea. Well executed. And I'm not really the biggest Deadpool fan because, I mean...
I love the Deadpool movies.
I know you love them. But the fight scene's crazy.
No, yeah, the movie. And he's hilarious.
He is funny, but he does a little too, like, he gets a little too metropolitan for me sometimes. Just a little bit. Just a touch much. Anyway, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. Out of a 10, I'd give it a 9/10. Love, what do you think?
9.5.
9.5. Kamish, what are you giving it out of 10?
I give it I give it a 9.
He's giving it a 9.
Because I don't think society should.
I like it. I like it. I like it. Anybody else want to talk about Deadpool Wolverine? Hit us up in the chat or give a call in and get him on in here with Mo 3 times in the commish of the BWL League. Currently, he's sitting at the bottom of the league, but you know what? It don't matter because he paid his dues. He paid his dues. I have not paid my dues.
Dad said he didn't like Wolverine either. I mean,
He didn't like
movie.
Deadpool Wolverine?
He did not. I need answers. Why not?
All right, so even now I got the commission
Jerry,
here.
I think the counter back when you said
I want to get in on, Michael was like, yo, did you see this? And this is something that I had seen because, you know, I'm always scrolling. This is Jerry Jones is getting angry at some sports talk radio guys in Dallas after the ugly Lions lost. Now, Will, commish, let me tell you something. Eagles winning, if the Eagles win, the Cowboys lose, and I win fantasy, that is the most blessed day. It is the most blessed day. Now, in this case, the Eagles had won, Dallas had lost, and I still needed the Sunday night game. I went to sleep Sunday just knowing that I had lost. I knew I lost. I woke up Monday, and it was celebration time. That's what happened. I woke up Monday, and at like 5 o'clock in the morning, I said, shit, I won. The Eagles won. Dallas.
You would be honest.
What?
You would be 100% honest with you.
Okay, go ahead.
I was looking at the outlook. I'm like, early in the week, I'm like, damn. Mo Hat's about to get his behind beat. And then the game happens. You know, he gets off to a hot start.
Right?
I'm like, oh, well, he's about to take an L. Said, you know, my predictions were right.
Oh, wow.
Next thing I know, as I'm looking at my horrible score,
Mm-hmm.
I scroll over to the right. Here you go. Win by the skin of your teeth.
Winning by the skin. Winning by the foreskin of my teeth. Pause.
I can't say that I was a little upset.
You were
then
upset.
when I looked at your record and it said 3-3 and I'm at 1-5, I was very upset.
Not only that, Will, I could easily be like, I legitimately got beat only one time. Those 2 other losses, I left money on the bench. But
On the
also,
table.
2 of my other wins, they left money on the table. So, I mean, it is what it is.
A win is a win.
A win is a win. But let me tell you what, even going into this Saturday, I'm looking at, I was like, yo, like it was so slated to be so close, like 45% to 55%, 48 to 52, whatever, however the math was going. And I was like going up and down. We're going up and down. And then I looked and I was like, yo, like I'm down 12 points. Why? Jonathan Taylor is out. He went from questionable to straight out. I said, damn, let me find out. And as you saw me, if you see me going through, I'm scrambling, got me a RB. Let's plug them in and just hope the Eagles win and Dallas loses because I already know what's happening in fantasy this week. And then on top of that, buddy from the Giants I had starting running back. It was Singletary, out. Oh, my God, I had to do it again. I don't even know how I made it, but I made it. And because I made it, you know what I mean? And with the mongs that it took for me to make it, I don't think the power rating should have me at 7. I should be at 4. Buddy should be at 7. I'm tired of this shit, Commish.
So let me ask.
You may get
would
kicked
you
out or
rather
harassment.
be looking at a power ranking when it comes playoff time, or do you want the dub?
I honestly want the dub. At the end of the day, I want the power ranking to say number 1. One. I'm just trying to make the playoffs. I don't know what you're doing over there. You're gonna need like I don't know. You're gonna need some help, buddy. You're gonna need fucking clovers and horseshoes and Lucky Charms.
I remember reaching out. To you. For what?
You reached at me. You reached out to me with that whack ass deal, Commish.
There you go.
What do you mean?
This is
All
how
right.
you do now. You 3-3. You 3-3 now. It's big time.
Man, I'm big time. I'm 3-3. I'm bottom of my conference, and I could be tied for the top of your conference that you're in. But, Commish, I'm going to show you how it's done. I'm going to show you how a real owner of a team gets it done. Check out Jerry Jones and what he had to say this week.
where are you going to get the players? You can't get them this week. And you're aware of all the off-season topics.
Yeah, but what is your counter? What is your damn counter?
My counter
I really want to know where you would go get it. Now, don't tell me about should gotten a guy in the off season.
Why not?
This isn't a damn word argument just because I'm not arguing with you. I'm dealing with how we line up against San Francisco, not what I did wrong last week or last month or 2 months ago or 2 years ago. If I really gave you guys a list of all the things I've done wrong over the last few years, you couldn't be on this program for the next 5 years steady and go over it. But every now and then you do some right things, and at the end of the day you add it up, and the rights give you a better spot than the wrongs. But if you think for any minute right now, there'll be one Super Bowl champion. What did the others do wrong? There's one Super Bowl champion. Now, we want to be that champion. And I'm sure not throwing the towel in today because of what happened out there Sunday. But I'm not going to sit here and waste a lot of energy, a lot of time. Let's talk about what I should have done back in 1907 or 2017. Shit, Ben. Come on. I've got more time than that, and I actually don't even have time on this great show for looking back at decisions.
Okay. So, Jerry, 1970, a little different from this past off season in building the team we're talking about today, which there was a lot of criticism that you guys didn't add, didn't spend, and don't add, and don't spend, and are not aggressive enough with some of the problems that are still haunting the Cowboys today that we see play out on the field. That's the point of talking about the offseason.
I remember those criticisms very well. Okay, so what?
Or are they playing out to be accurate?
What's your point?
My point is, it seems like
Listen, let me tell you what I'll do. About it. I will let us sit down and look at the decisions we've made over the last several years. Okay? I'll look at it. Now, if you think I'm interested on a damn phone call with you over a radio and sitting here and throwing all the good out with the dishwater, you have got to be smoking something over there this morning. I'm not. And I really don't, and I don't even want our listeners to listen to me, to talk about, this is not your job. Your job isn't to let me go over all the reasons that I did something and I'm sorry that I did it. That's not your job.
Well, my job is to ask why.
Or I'll get somebody else to ask these questions, man.
Jerry, we're trying to figure out why the team is.
I'm not kidding you. You're not going to figure out what the team is doing right or wrong. If you are, or any 5 or 10 like you, you need to come to this meeting I'm going to today. There are 32 teams here. You're geniuses.
Yo, what do you think about that? Jerry Jones just he basically threatened that man's livelihood right there for asking him questions that he didn't want to answer about them Cowboys.
You remember?
You mad at the wrong person?
You remember what's the dude from Cash Money that went on?
Oh, baby.
On Charlemagne. Oh, put some respect on his name is what he's saying.
Basically, he was.
First of all, I like what you're doing, but I don't like.
Or I'll find somebody that will.
That's what he said. Now he did kind of invite them to the meeting. Do you think they took his invitation to go to that meeting at all?
Nah. I'm sure he had a meeting with the boss that afternoon.
No. Do you think Jerry Jones called back and was like, "Yo, apologize," because he came off like an asshole, kind of?
Oh no, nah.
That, to me, he comes off like an asshole. That's an unfair question. How did he come off to you with that interview? I thought it was amazing, honestly. Not actually.
I mean, he came off like the Cowboys have been playing the last however long they haven't won a Super Bowl. You know what I mean? Like, he don't care. He about to make this money. You know, my own personal feeling has always been that the Cowboys Stadium is not a home stadium.
It isn't.
You know, it's Jerry's world. You know, it's made for people to come in there and enjoy themselves. So they don't have no home field advantage. They have an owner who's really making all the decisions for the team. He don't know what he's doing, obviously. This is what they do all the time, every single year. But got to deal with it.
All
Especially
right.
being an Eagles fan, you know, we are more realist with it, you know, what needs to happen or what doesn't need to happen. But, you know, he's real aloof with it. Like, he ain't seen nothing.
Like he handles with the. Do you think this Jerry Jones on the phone, was he speaking in capacity as the owner or as the GM?
And it sounded to me like he was the owner of everything. He called the radio show and told the radio man, "I can have your job."
That's what he said. That's what he said.
He said you must be going crazy, smoking some dope.
In some sort of way, he must sign those guys' check. But go ahead, you were quoting him. Because he had some quotables in this one.
Yeah, he said you got to be smoking something crazy, talking to me like you're talking to me.
Yeah. Don't you realize I'm Jerry Jones? I got the transcript here. I'm about to put it out for him. Well, I'm not going to put it out for everybody, but he was going in. He went in and basically said what the team is doing, right or wrong. If you are any 5 or 10 like you need to come to this meeting. He said you need to come to this meeting because you're geniuses. Today, there's 32 teams
he
here.
ain't listening no way, though.
He isn't going to listen anyway. And that's why I love Jerry. That's why I love Jerry. Oh, did I just put? That might have been Freudian slip because she don't listen, no. She don't listen either. Nope. She don't listen either. But Jerry definitely don't listen. And so do you think there's like a curse or whatever? I don't know. Dak is demolishing his house. That's really all I know about the Cowboys. I know that they got beat up to the point that they were doing trick plays with linemen, like crazy annexation of Puerto Rico, Little Giant type plays on them. And I was here for it.
Yeah.
I was here for it. Go Jared Goff. I left that money on the bench as well. I sure did. I sure effing did.
And that game was, you know, how do you pay a quarterback? And maybe we can answer this question, you know what I mean? Because maybe we're not that far off with Hurts. But you pay a quarterback all that money, and stuff like this happens, you know, 2 or 3 times a year where you get really embarrassed, like people putting a 40 spot on you. And it's not like he ain't missing no offensive weapon. Yeah, they had some pieces defensively missing. But offensively, they're supposed to be able to, they ain't got no running game. No.
They have no running game at all. But I believe that's what the guys were intimating to on that sports talk radio. Like, Jerry, listen, we had a chance at one point to get King Henry, and you were effing around. And I think that he kind of took that personally. I know he knows he made a mistake doing that, especially watching Derrick Henry run all over Baltimore, you know, for the Ravens. And I think that's a sore spot for him, and I think that's why he came out of that normal Jerry Jones school. Because Jerry Jones might be an asshole to those players, to those coaches, maybe even, but I think off the field he is like a first-class, A-plus gentleman to everybody. And I mean, I would expect that to be sports talk guys too. I think that was rubbing him really raw. He fucked up, Jerry.
When it comes down to signing a player like Derrick Henry, you got 2 sons and a dad. Somebody got to make the call.
He's the GM and the owner.
Somebody got to say, yeah, well,
that's his call.
Consensusly, I don't think that they wanted him.
Money thing?
I don't think that he dropped the ball. I don't think that they wanted him that bad. I really don't. He trying to put some money in his pocket.
Amazing. But we shall see. We shall see what we shall see. I'm going to push on right now. I want to talk a little bit about the Menendez brothers, because I find it interesting. So, Will and Love, you're in here too because I know we had that conversation before. I went on Netflix, I believe, and there was a Menendez. There was like a whole revival of the Menendez brothers case. There is like a made-for-TV movie, I believe, that was on. There's also a documentary. I hit play on the documentary. She thought I was making it on a movie, but it was actually a documentary. And when the documentary pokes up, like pops up with all of this new information, I was like, damn, these are some of the things that I heard, being spoken about. However, it wasn't something that was like big news. So basically, earlier today, what happened is, let me throw a picture up there for you guys. What happened earlier today is that there was a press conference. Get you up there. And it was outside the Hall of Justice in Los Angeles. So the entire Menendez, not the entire, but a lot of the Menendez family made a public appeal for the release of Erik and Lyle Menendez. So the press conference was held. It was outside and it was kind of split. And, some people were holding up signs advocating for their release, while others were like firmly, bro, they should remain behind bars. So around afternoon, a little bit after afternoon, around 1:30 p.m., Brian Friedman, who's an attorney, I'll show you what he looks like. There he is, attorney to the stars. Brian Friedman, representing the extended family of the Menendez brothers, announced that the family is taking their case to court under Marsy's Law. I do not know what Marsy's Law. I was like, the hell is Marsy's Law? So I looked it up. And Marsy's Law is a California Victims Bill of Rights Act of 2008, and it was enacted by voters of Proposition 9 through the initiative process in November 2008 general election, and it's an amendment to the state's constitution and certain penal code sections, which tells me absolutely, positively nothing. So they say Marsy's Law, and they explain it. So they say, under Marsy's Law, the California Constitution now provides victims with the following enumerated rights: to be treated with fairness and respect for his or her privacy and dignity, and to be free from intimidation, harassment, and abuse throughout the criminal or juvenile justice process, which I am still befuddled, William. I don't know. I don't know if I'm stupid, but is anybody in the same conundrum as me still like, yo, what is this Marsy's Law? So they give examples. Now, here's an example. It says crime victims and their families have a state constitutional right to prevent the release of their confidential information or records to criminal defendants. They can also refuse to be interviewed or provide pretrial testimony or other evidence requested on behalf of criminal defendant. All right, so that seems a little bit better to me, but then I had to ask myself, what does that have to do with this case? Is that where we are? Are we all caught up to where I'm at right now? Because I know it's kind of hard. I wouldn't want to be in this mind state either. Are we following? That's the guy I KO'd. That's the guy I KO'd. Like, all right. So, all right. What happens is they are united in their belief that Erik and Lyle have served long enough and deserve to be released. Now, please understand. Katie Menendez, her niece, her name is Karen Vandermolen. This is what she looks like. I like to give you guys the visions. This is her right here in this picture over here. Well, that lady's talking.
She's the niece of the mom, right?
Yeah, she's Kitty's niece. All right, so she spoke, and she said that she has always believed the brothers' accounts of the events and felt something was deeply wrong in their home as they were growing up. She also added that had Erik and Lyle been women, they likely would have received a much lighter sentence, and it would have drew attention to the issue of gender bias in the justice system. So she's piecing together, trying to get her cousins released. Now, Kitty's nephew, Brian Anderson, followed, offering a different perspective. What he said was, from within the family, he shared that he's known Erik and Lyle basically all his life. He dismissed the media's portrayal of them as villains, and he highlighted how, if their trial had taken place today, the alleged abuse that they endured sexually would not have been so quickly dismissed. That is something, when we watched the documentary, that's something I said to you. I was like, we would take their accusations against their abuse against their parents, we would have taken that a lot more seriously. But he also goes on to say that they endured and that that wouldn't have been dismissed. He also made it clear that if Erik and Lyle were released, that they would be welcomed into his home with open arms. Now, one of the most poignant moments that came was when Joan Anderson Vandermolen, who is Kitty's 92-year-old sister, spoke. She bravely admitted, here she is right here, 92 years young. She admitted that it took years for her to reconcile with her sister's murder. She said, but now, with the revelations, all of the things that she learned of the alleged abuse of the Menendez brothers and everything that they endured, that her perspective shifted. And she believes the justice system failed Erik and Lyle, especially in the 1990s, when society wasn't ready to accept that boys could be victims of abuse. And she said it's time to revisit their sentence. Don't worry, I got you. All right, so basically, Erik and Lyle are coming up on a chance to be able to get out. It seems like their family is fighting to get them out. But there was also Mark Garagos, who brought the conference to a close by pointing to critical pieces of testimony, such as the statements from Roy Rossello and Erik's letter to his cousin Andy. He also cited the brothers' efforts to rehabilitate in prison, and he recommended the resentencing for both brothers. Now, there's some facts about the case to take you back. Erik and Lyle were convicted of murdering their parents, Jose and Kitty Menendez. Let's bring up a picture of Jose and Kitty. I didn't have one ready available, but I know Google does. So here we go. And this is exactly how I remember them watching them on TV. Right? So this happened in 1989. They had a highly publicized trial that captivated the nation. Ladies and gentlemen, when we first got on, I started talking to the commissioner. He remarked how, like, it was one of those trials that was on every day, sort of like the OJ trial, sort of like Johnny Depp and Amber Heard trial. Every day, you knew the ins and outs and all the, and people got famous if they got on the stand to testify. All right, so. Number two, the brothers claimed they killed their parents after years of emotional and sexual and physical abuse by their father. So in the 1990s, the issues surrounding male victims of abuse, they were less understood, and their claims were largely dismissed during trial. I mean, the people back home watching the trial were like, oh man, they're making up stuff just so they can get out of this. Like, man.
Well, why did they lie in the first place then?
Well, love, yeah, I will give you excellent time to share your point of view. But they also said that the Menendez brothers are currently serving life sentences without the possibility of parole. But through these recent legal motions, they aim to have them resentenced based on new perspectives on abuse and rehabilitation. It says the case has also become a point of reflection on how abuse is treated in the legal system and whether past trials should be re-examined with modern understanding. Now, there is, to the point, you guys might know of a former mobster turned mentor. His name is Michael Franzese, and he's been a guest of DJ Vlad. If you guys like, I'll show you a picture of him. His father's name was Sonny. He's a big mafia guy. He kind of made his money by some, I think, Venezuelan gas station kind of racket that he had going on. He said that he spent 11 months in solitary confinement with Lyle Menendez, which if you can spend 11 months in solitary confinement with somebody, it doesn't make it solitary. I'm just saying. This is the way it's written, though. But they say he spent 11 months in solitary confinement with Lyle Menendez in Los Angeles County Federal Correctional Institution. Now, Lyle and his brother Erik were convicted of murdering their parents in 1989. They were sentenced to life in prison. The brothers were later separated after an alleged escape plan got hatched. You remember hearing about that?
No, I don't.
I do kind of sort of remember, like, they had a plan, they had to separate them. Like, maybe in the early 90s. Now, anyway, Franzese, who served time for a parole violation, shared that Lyle spoke about the abuse they suffered from their father and their disappointment with their mother for not intervening. Franzese says, believes the abuse claims were genuine. He said, though he approached the conversations cautiously, the Menendez brothers' case has gained renewed attention, like I said, due to two Netflix productions, the made-for-TV movie and a documentary. Now, in the documentary, one of the things that they wrote was that they brought the case back up because these young kids out there are going through old cases and they're using it as content for their TikTok. Like, they're doing, like, little contemporary history shows for their buddies and friends of crazy shit that happened in the 80s and 90s. This being one of those cases. Now, when the younger people view this case and they talk about the alleged the abuse and basically the abuse, they kind of went a little bit more sympathetic there, decided to look into other things in the case, such as one of the things that we watched in the documentary that they were talking about that a lot of people were critical of the brothers at the time was, hey, their parents just died and they went on an extreme spending spree. They're buying cars, they're buying houses, they're taking vacations. And at that time, that is something that we couldn't explain in the 90s. But with, more mental health research, mental health experts actually came on that documentary and said that it's not outside of the norm for people to react in grief that way, to continue spending. Given the abuse, feeling free from that abuse. They did grow up rich. These are all the things that they said in the documentary that actually made me go back and be like, wow, like, you know what? They could be onto something. Whether it's whether
Get away with it.
I mean, I got you, boo. Whether it's like actually like something like legally that you can fight in court of law, legit, or actually this is something that actually happened and provoked them to kill their parents. I remember when Lyle and Erik Menendez did this, and it was tense in my household with Winnie and Dickie. They used to like threaten us and be like, yo, we're not going out like Kitty and Jose. I remember Dickie saying that him and Winnie weren't Jose and Kitty, and that he wasn't going. We wasn't going to. Then me and Sharon used to be like, we was going to Menendez brothers, our parents, but we was just playing. We weren't Menendez brothers. I'm not going to Menendez brothers, Winnie and Dickie. I love them. But yo, that's like one of the interesting things, because we were just talking about that when I was watching that documentary, and Ev Love also has words for it. I'll let her speak. But this is like an argument that we had going back and forth, and I think that when I was looking at the documentary, I was a little bit more open to this new knowledge than my old world wife, and old world, you know, your old school, traditional, ragu.
Old world.
I know, terrible. She's gonna beat me up with the knuckle dusters, just like the old world do, like little one of them slapjacks.
Old world, okay.
She's gonna beat me up old world style. All right, anyway, but like Ev is just stalwart about it. She's like, no, they're killers, they're murderers, they're blah blah blah. And I'm like, yo, this couple weeks ago, I'm like, yo, like there might be something to this. Like, it does make sense. Like, we didn't treat abuse, especially when it came to, you know, boys being abused, we didn't treat it as seriously as it's being treated now. We didn't look at that stuff like that. And I think that, hey, we might want to look at this case again. So when I hear this news that the family has actually come out and, you know, and heard about all of this, how his family is saying that, listen, we realized that something was wrong back in the day, because although, like, we didn't talk about the abuse for boys back in the day, and a lot of times when people seen stuff in their families, it was just in the family, and that's their business. You know what I mean? So now that we're living in different times, I'm thinking we're having different outcomes. Whether they did it, yes or no, I think we would have to, like, for me personally, like, was the is there something to the abuse? Because if there is something to that abuse, then obviously, you know, murdering isn't the best choice to go to. But I mean, they've been in jail for like 30 years now. I would think
their parents are not alive.
their parents aren't alive.
So, and that's forever.
Tell 'em, Ev.
So what exactly are
Forever,
you saying?
ever.
What is your point?
I'm just saying, like, legally,
First
people,
of all, the way that
people
can I talk
go.
now because
I mean, you answered.
run
You
in
just
your mouth and
like
I can't say
you just asked a question. I was going to answer it.
Okay, go ahead.
Like, was it a rhetorical question? Do you even
Yeah.
remember the question you asked me?
No, 'cause I'm
Exactly.
So passionate about this.
Oh, go ahead. Be passionate. I got you.
No, seriously though.
No, take it.
They were not behaving
Mm-hmm.
by any means. I remember this when I was young. I remember this just like you. We would watch it and you know, and yeah, everybody. This was what everybody was talking about, and those kids were not behaving like kids that were abused. They were brats, and like you said, they thought they weren't gonna get caught up with their lies. So they started spending the money, thinking they're just gonna keep the mom and dad money, and be rich and free because the parents were not spoiling them no more. The parents were sick and tired of those brats, and they were mad about it, and they decided to kill them. You don't kill your parents because supposedly they're abusing you. You don't just go kill your mom and dad because you just. I'm sorry. I don't think that's the answer. And they were big
They're
enough
not
to
that
understand
powerful
that.
that
And not only that, but
Was
they weren't acting like victims when it happened. Even during the trial, their faces, their mannerisms, the smiles, just everything about them, they just looked like brats, and that's what they looked like the whole time. And just people talking about their behavior and how
Right.
they acted, and literally everything after. People are just looking at little nips of
Like
little
nothing
videos and little things. They didn't live through what we lived through.
They
And
didn't
how
see every day in the
every
corner.
day on TV what was going on. We would watch it, and
Right.
we lived through it.
I hear you.
We saw it.
But I would also have to
These
bring
kids
your
come up
attention to
20,
another
30
child.
years later, and they're talking about something that they have no idea what they're talking about.
I get that. However, remember, it was on court TV. They do have the ability to go back and watch all those crime tapes. And you know, some people are just straight
and
legal
again,
heads, and that's what they do.
At the age that we're on, we know that people don't watch more than 5 seconds. And I guarantee you that everybody else that's joining the little club is just watching one little 5
I
second,
get
1
that.
minute video,
I get
and
that.
they want to jump on the bandwagon
but-
because they want views also.
But I don't think that's fair to say to the creators that they're only watching 5 seconds of video to create this thing. I create stuff, and I know what it goes into creating a little hour show. It's multiple days just to get this half-ass information that I'm trying to
But do
communicate
you
better to you
understand
guys
also
now.
that TikTok, the TikTok community thrives
Right.
on living off of one topic that somebody, and they got a little view, everybody else wants to say the same exact thing and jump on the bandwagon, and
I get
everybody
that.
wants to get views because they got views on that one stand.
Right, I get that.
So now everybody
But
else is going to go on the same
But there's
thing,
still an
whether they
original
have proof or
creator
not.
that created that. But that's even besides the point. Like, really, one of the biggest things that you brought up was that when you were watching it, like, your perception of them, the way they behaved, the way their body language, their spending, the way that they looked in their pictures and stuff with that.
And their
it
friends,
was totally
they would talk
misunderstood.
about how they would behave on a normal day. Back in the day,
Right.
we saw all that side of them.
But
People were not talking about
Evelyn, there's another case that is kind of the same way where people's misconceptions and misperceptions of somebody almost got somebody in jail for the rest of their lives, and that was Amanda Knox. When Amanda Knox was in Italy,
Oh my
the
gosh.
Italian police
saw
took it to her like she was like
No, but
a
that was
cold-blooded
different.
killer
If you
because she
watch
didn't
the
realize
whole-
the situation that
Okay,
she
but
was
if you
in.
watch the whole thing,
and-
literally, you would know that that's a totally different animal, though.
No,
the
I mean,
way,
it's a
the
perception
way, and it's not. It doesn't just happen in Italy. I've watched. I watch documentaries like crazy.
It may have happened in America
my
in
specialty.
1989.
Real crime documentaries is
Yeah,
my
she is.
specialty. And let me tell you something.
I'm not
in
gonna-
South America and Europe, they are so crooked. The system, the courts want to always be right. It doesn't matter whether you have the proof or not. So many people are in jail because they just want to put someone in jail because yes, the population doesn't play that. They want someone in jail, and even if they're not the person that did it.
I got that signed up for you because you're going. Go.
Even if it's not the person that did it, they're gonna blame it on someone.
Okay, sounds like America.
So no, but it's different though.
It was
Because
different.
I feel like in America you can actually not always, but you have a little more chance to prove yourself.
I don't know. In America,
Europe
people
and
will
South America?
people will get off with DNA evidence and they will not overturn that case. They will have them sign some
guess
shit
what?
that said
Guess
that
what?
they
It
were
happens
guilty
a lot
and then
more-
they can get out.
It happens a lot more in South America and Europe.
I wouldn't.
It happens a lot more.
I mean, it's,
This is from someone that's coming that watches the old documentaries
All right.
in all kinds of languages. Yes, I do watch.
I'm gonna let the children sing. I'm gonna let you get that one because you stay
I
stuck
do.
on the ID channel. I just know
No,
how we
ID
get down
channel,
over
ID
here too,
channel.
and I
Don't
just
play me.
I'm just saying I know
ID
how it
channel.
gets down here, and I see cases of a lot of people being exonerated of stuff, and that they're still sitting in jail because they don't want to say that. Hey, we'll let you out, but you got to sign this paper so you won't hold us accountable
No,
for putting you in jail
I
like trash.
understand that, yes, that happens in America, and I'm not disagreeing.
Frequently.
Of course it does. We know that.
Okay.
What I'm saying is
Right.
that, unfortunately, that happens a lot more over there.
Over there, you think?
Absolutely. They're so crooked. What happened with Amanda Knox,
Yeah,
that literally
That's
shook me
crazy.
to my core how horrible they are.
that's crazy.
And then after that, I just kept watching documentaries that were exactly like that.
Right.
And they do it so much that it's amazing.
I'm just saying that I think that maybe perhaps we might have watched an entire year of Lyle and Erik Menendez on trial and under scrutiny, and that we may have been prisoners of that moment, and that media may have shifted our perceptions of what could have happened.
Or
and
we
I
can
think it's
also say, on the other hand, that this society now, the young kids are. We live in the victims. This is victim times.
Oh, wow.
Everybody's a victim now. Whether and we see it all the time, whether they really are a victim or not. So what happens is that kids now they immediately
Right.
so what happened? Oh my gosh, they were sexually assaulted by the parents. It's okay for them to kill the parents. They're not guilty. Let them out.
Yes.
They don't even know truly what happened.
Yeah,
They're
if you
just
get
saying
social
that because it's the new
That's true.
thing to say.
You don't think
we're
that?
all victims?
Yeah, I think
we're
if
all
you're
victims
sexually
now.
assaulting people
And that's
and
why
you-
so many
I
people
don't
are lying
have too
about being
much,
victims because they think they can now.
But also, what I would, I get exactly what you're saying, Evelyn. However, at the end of the day, in this case specifically, they have people close to them that are understanding what happened, that believe them when it comes to abuse and allegations, and are willing to not only forgive, but fight for their freedom again for them. Like their own actual family and people that were directly impacted by the murdering of Jose and Kitty Menendez. And if their family says that, hey, guys, we forgive you, we understand what you went through, and we believe you, and we want to see you free and whole again, then I'm going to roll with the family for this one.
I don't know that it's necessarily that they believe them. I think it's that they think that they did enough time. They have been in jail for a long time, and to them it's probably like, all right, y'all did your time. You guys look like you're sorry, and you're grown men now.
Right.
You should be able to live your life. That's
Now, quick
probably what
question,
they're at.
quick question.
I don't believe that they don't think that they did it.
Quick question. Are you more liable to forgive someone if they were abused in that situation? And that's
For
it.
killing the parents?
Yeah.
I don't think that's the solution, but
No. But are you more likely to forgive them in that case than your original assumption that they just killed them cold-heartedly for money and to do whatever the hell they
oh,
want?
absolutely. If they were abused, I wouldn't say that it was okay to kill your parents. Obviously, that's
Right.
not okay.
Murder is not good.
But what I'm
For-
saying is that if they were abused, I can have a little compassion for them.
I'll take that. I will take
Let
that.
me tell you something. As parents, I'm a parent and you're a parent. You should know the sacrifices we make for these kids. And for them, because you get mad at me and you want to come and kill me because you just, like your dad just mentioned, he said this kid killed his parents because they took his Xbox away.
Yeah.
I believe that
Yeah,
these
we get that.
brothers,
We get that.
same thing happened with these brothers. The parents were sick of their
89 was that
bratty
NES?
activities, and they were sick of them. I said no, and they were like, oh no, okay, no problem. And they lied the whole way until they couldn't lie anymore.
Yo,
And
everybody
then
in
they
the
come up with
chat.
that story.
Ev is on one right now. If y'all
I'm
would like to
saying.
see Ev more often on cam, just let me know. Throw it up in the chat. Let us know in the chat.
Ramik said a lot of kids kill their parents.
'Cause-
You're right, and usually it has nothing to do with
If
abuse.
this is
It has to do with this being
This is a
selfish.
normal.
Selfish children that they think it's
Will,
all about them.
It's
And this is normal.
PLE
Yes, this
every
is me.
day in here. It's debate in here all damn day.
He's right though.
Sometimes I just.
What if they would have gone
You just
free?
why you debate back.
What if they would have gone free after that? What do you think would? Well, then they would probably be.
What if they'd have won? Yeah.
If they would have went free back in that time, then right now they would be.
Based
It
off
would have
the lie.
been a riot.
No, they would be with Puff Daddy right now because they'd have been at them puffy
People
parties.
were literally so happy when they got convicted because people truly, no one believed them. And that includes me.
No,
and I know it includes you because you didn't believe him either.
What in the
during the time that we were growing up, when we watched all of this.
Yeah, but also this is just coming back out like now big because TikTok, like you say. But in between those years, there have been little updates on there, and they have kept up with that story of abuse. Now I get it. You got nothing to lose. You're going to be in jail for the rest of your natural life. Like you're going to keep that story up. But I mean, their family saying that, hey. Well, you're coming a little choppy. I'm going to mute you for just a second, but I'm going to keep you on. But, like, with, the guy being a mobster being in jail, kind of vouching for Lyle, the family getting his back, that's the reason. That's the reason. And we also understand. He was on. Well, he was respecting the conversation, and he wasn't even muted at all.
Oh, okay.
I did hear him kind of like, chuckle in on a couple things. But, yeah, guys, let us know what you think.
You're dead. 313. No one is a bigger victim than Trump.
825. Oh, man.
Yeah, right.
Remember I used to have a Trump sound effect and he's like, the American dream is dead. It's okay.
I can't control. You know who are victims? Us. Our neighbors had 2 big old Trump flags outside. Right in our what do you call it? In our vision. Every second that we leave our house, we have to see those big old things out there. So the struggle has been. I cannot wait for this to be over, y'all.
It's crazy.
It's bad.
It's nuts. It's nuts. We would be the one in jail. LOL.
So bad.
I thought I was live on Facebook. I tried. Whatever. I just want to try it. All right. So blah, 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 blah. Michael Franchise. About what else do we have today for these good people? I can't even. Let's give them music. That's what we need right now. Not that music. That's my
We're talking about the Meech guy or whatever.
Oh yeah, thank you for keeping me on. This is kind of like a
Jerry Jones.
I mean, I don't know what these people are. I explained Marcy's Law. That's what I did today. This thing is so loud. All right, let's see. I gotta stop with the ums. Remember I said, well, no, that wasn't a goal. It wasn't a goal. It wasn't a goal to stop ums yet, but I think that should be a goal because I all the time. It's nice. I like it. It's like a blanket.
I can't speak. Whenever I get on the mic or on the...
Oh, no, you're doing fine right now.
I literally forget words.
No, you were talking your shit, F.
Nah, but I do.
Let the show
I
sing.
forget words, yeah. I like get carried away.
I put this music on and I start jamming out because sometimes I'll be figuring out more. Oh, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk about Big Meech.
It's big?
It's Big Meech.
Okay, what does he do? You haven't told me yet.
Oh, man, calm down.
So you doing slow motion?
You're taking
slow motion.
Taking advantage of being up in here. Yo, check this out. All right, this is
getting thrown out my last time here.
You're not getting. You could get thrown out.
That's it. You skipped Obama. You also got to talk about Obama.
I ain't skip Obama. You know why I'm saving Obama for. Because I know that's what you want to talk about. I love it. I love it. This right here is Demetrius. Say it with me. Demetrius.
Never seen this man in my life.
Big Meech Flannery. Right? He is the notorious co-founder of the Black Mafia family, BMF.
Never heard of it.
They call me Big Meech, Larry Hoover.
Oh, is that who that is?
You know Rick Ross?
Like the real deal?
Yeah, he's the real guy though.
Oh.
Yo, remember we watched that movie Superfly, the new Superfly, and in the beginning they're in the club
That's
and they're wearing all white and he's splashing money. They're kind of based off of the Black Mafia family. That's how they used to do. They used to be up in the clubs just making it monsoon up in there. All right. So anyway, we're talking about Big Meech is because he has now been released from prison and is now serving the remainder of his sentence in more comfortable conditions.
Well, why did he go to jail?
Right. Black Mafia family. Let me rock,
Let me look it
Evelyn.
up. I ain't
Black
asking no
Mafia
questions.
family. There you go. She's gonna look it up. All right. So anyway, if you let me talk, but Flannery is known for running one of the largest drug trafficking and money laundering operations in the United States during the early 2000s. Right? That's what he did. Put your phone down. You don't gotta Google with
looking
me.
for him.
You don't gotta Google with me.
Yes, I am.
Anyway, he was transferred from FCI Coleman, which is Federal Correctional Institution, Coleman, and that was in Wildwood, Florida, not Wildwood, New Jersey. And he was transferred to a halfway house under the supervision of the Federal Bureau of Prisons, Miami Residential Reentry Management. Big Meech has landed in Miami. All right. Anyway, the BMF empire, co-founded by Big Meech and his brother, here's his brother, Southwest T. Southwest T's, I was called Southwest T because that right eye was always leaning to the Southwest. I don't know if that's true, but it sounds right, right? Doesn't that sound right? They call him Southwest T because his eye was leaning Southwest. I mean, anyway. They were responsible for distributing large amounts of cocaine, of cocaine, of the yayo, across multiple states and became infamous for its ties to hip-hop culture and lavish lifestyles. I think Young Jeezy back in the day. Anyway, they had a lot of high-profile connections and flashy displays of wealth. Puffy was kind of involved. One of his bodyguards kind of got mixed up with the BMF and ended up dying. There is a whole culture of black criminality that goes on YouTube. And if you love true crime, Evelyn, you will love some of these stories because they are effing amazing. They are amazing. I mean, I'm an American. Let's keep it real. America, we always had a preoccupation. We love crime. We celebrate criminals in America. Damn it, we got one running for president right now that's being celebrated. I digress. Anyway, his sentence was reduced in 2020 due to some changes in the federal sentencing guidelines, contributing to his earlier release into community confinement. Look, his story has garnered some success. Ev, look, BMF. I don't know if you ever heard of it, but it's on Stars. 50 Cent did a story, and his son actually plays him. That's his son.
Story?
That's BMF. That's Big Meech's
that's his
son.
son?
Yeah.
I've seen him before.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. He's with
Yeah,
Fifth
I have
right there.
definitely seen him on TV.
Yeah, that's his son.
Sure.
That's his son. Anyway, yeah, they got the success of the Stars series, BMF. So he's probably going to have a little cash when he gets out. He's not. Hopefully, I don't know if hopefully, I mean, I am just being a United States citizen celebrating criminality, as always. But we must not forget that a lot of lives were changed because of this guy. He didn't just go to jail because he was some type of political prisoner or some shit like that. Like, he was hurting people. Let's not forget that. He was out here hurting people, but still, he's back. I hope he makes the best of it. I hope he stays out of jail. I hope he does something very, very good with his life and pays it forward. I just think that is a good story to tell because I know that he is such a fixture of the culture, if you will. But yeah, I hope he stays out. Yeah. Unlike Evelyn. Evelyn wants to see everybody in jail.
1,000 years and told him if he came back reincarnated, he will be arrested again if he was born again.
Who's Southwest T?
He would be arrested. And then he said Diddy was set up by his son because he wouldn't let him rap. You know what? Your dad be wildin'.
Oh, wow. He wouldn't let us, yeah. I don't know. It's crazy out in those streets, though. Talking shit, getting clicks. We got a call-in line. I think the commission has left us. 313-825. I did put him on mute. My bad, bro.
He was breaking.
He was like breaking up in the back.
I don't know.
I did KO that guy, guys. I'm not gonna lie. Just Hold on, just so you guys, I'll play it for you guys again while I switch screens. This is what I did. I did this. 1 o'clock in the morning.
Round still up for grabs with just
Look.
Harvila in
Look at
some
that.
trouble here.
Round 8 of 8. I needed this. 3 seconds left. Drops him. He can't be saved by the bell. I know that last punch was illegal, but it's illegal in video games. They didn't disqualify me at all. As you can see, he's kept on counting. All right, what else do we got, love?
We have Obama.
That's it?
Is the last topic.
We got to have more topics than just Obama.
It's 8:45. No, we don't.
I was going to talk about Ta-Nehisi Coates and kind of tie it in. Hey, did you guys watch did you read the book that we were talking about by Ta-Nehisi Coates called The Message? The Message. I'm going to show you one more time. We'll talk about this next week. But here's the book. It's called The Message by Ta-Nehisi Coates. I got this book on Audible. It's a short book. I mean, in Audible, it's the author actually reads it, which is great because some of his other books he doesn't read, which is weird to me. But I like when the author actually reads their own books for Audible. So it was about 5.5 hours. It's a 5.5 hour read, basically. Maybe shorter because I don't read stuff like indexes and like footnotes and stuff like that. But it was a very good book. It is something, I mean, it was a very good Audible. Something that I'm definitely going to pick up in at least paperback form to get my hands on just to have to break open because I think reading is a little bit better sometimes. You get the words and get the reread sentences and stuff like that. Audible does have clips, so you can clip some of the great things he said. But one of the things that Ta-Nehisi Coates did mention was, well, we started talking about Coates because he got in a little bit of kerfuffle in an interview on ABC News last week. And basically it felt like people were saying that he was ambushed because he came on to talk about his book, and basically one of the interviewers said that if they didn't know him or didn't, know that he had all these awards, that when they read his book, The Message, that he would expected that the person was an extremist, and that was met with a lot of debate. We talked about that last week. Listen, I went and I audibled the book, and there is no way in hell that you could read this or listen to it on Audible and think that person who wrote this was an extremist. I would understand if he started out talking about Palestine and it just hit from the beginning, but no, he leads up to it, and when they actually talk about the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, he's talking about it at the end of the book. But before that, he talks about all the trials and tribulations that Israel went through to actually, develop the state of Israel, to develop the sense of Zionism. And he also talks about his time in Senegal as well as in South Carolina, where he met up with some teachers that were protesting the banning of his books. And he said it wasn't just the protesting of the banning of the books, but it was also some self-interest things in there. Ta-Nehisi Coates, he writes about race in everyday formats, and this was an excellent Audible for me. I'm gonna call it Audible, but I think it would be an excellent read, and I think if you haven't tried it out, you should. I recommend it. I recommend you get your hands on the paperback. If you're like me, I always keep like an AirPod in my ear all damn day long, so me just getting the audio version of the book was amazing. He has a lot of great insights, a lot of self-reflections, a lot of things from the Black community, a lot of things from the writing community. So I recommend you watch the books. Read the book, listen to the book, do whatever you got to do, but get your hands on that information. One of the things that I did learn from the book was that there is an issue. And one of the issues is that during Donald Trump's reign,
I'm going to go ahead and just say,
during Donald Trump's reign, Donald Trump signed into effect an executive order. Now, that executive order is Executive Order 13950. Right? It's combating race and sex stereotyping. And Ta-Nehisi Coates talks about it. And the reason why it's important is because it's an executive order that absolutely positively led up to all of this business that we have with the outlawing of any type of program that speaks of diversity, equity, or inclusion. Yeah. And I didn't look into the authors of this, but it kind of reads like the mandate. You guys know what I'm talking about when I say the mandate? There's a mandate. You know this mandate? Mandate for leadership, conservative promise. It kind of reads like that. And just like that, there's also some lies in it. So basically, what the people are trying to do here with this executive order signed in by Donald Trump in September of 2020 on his way out was to get rid of any program that spoke about diversity, equity, and inclusion. He didn't want any government agencies taking part of any training that had to do with gender or race, anything like that. So, HR gives you some training on, hey, we're all different here and here and here, and these people experience this, and you might experience this. They said none of that. They said none of it because people were getting information and they were feeling bad about it. But it wasn't just specific people. He was talking about white people. He said white people were getting information. They were getting historical context of race and racism and systemic racism, and they were hearing it and they were going home and they were feeling bad about it. They were feeling guilty about it. They were feeling ashamed about it. They were feeling suicidal about it. And that is the reason why they wanted to get rid of these DEI courses. Never mind that these people have family members who actually experienced this, that went through this, that experienced it in their actual lifetimes, but they're protecting people that had to hear about it, and they outlawed it for it. Now I get it. Listen, there is no white person on this planet that owned a slave. I get that. Their families may have. You might have got black people out here that families own slaves. Right? Is that what we're going for? What are you doing here? Right? So anyway, they go through all of that to get rid of DEI in federal. Now, not only that, you can't teach it to any government agency. You can't do it for any of government contractors. You can't do that for any government contractors. You have to send signs to the union saying that they can't do that. Anybody who's trying to get in a government contract. Also, if there's special programs for small businesses that are owned by women and minorities that may get special placement to get these contracts, that's no longer accepted. That's what he got rid of 2020. Luckily, the Biden administration revoked it and got that out of the way, but this is some of the things that Donald Trump was doing. Now, in saying this, they talk about the purpose is from the battlefield of Gettysburg to the bus boycott in Montgomery and the Selma to Montgomery marches, heroic Americans have valiantly risked their lives to ensure that their children will grow up in a nation living out its creed. Expressed in the Declaration of Independence, we hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal. It was this belief in the inherent quality of every individual that inspired the founding generation to risk their lives, their fortunes, and their sacred honor to establish a new nation, unique among the countries of the world. President Abraham Lincoln understood that. They always bring up Abraham Lincoln when they're talking about race, Evelyn. Have you noticed that? They do that shit all the time, like he was the... We know better than that, but we are not allowed to teach better in schools because that's been outlawed. Anyway, President Lincoln understood that This belief is the electric cord that links the hearts of patriots and liberty loving people, no matter their race or country. Right there, this is the section 1. This is the preamble. This is the boost up speech to what they're trying to get done in this executive order. And let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen, and they started it off with a lie, because President Abraham Lincoln never said no shit about the electric cord that links the hearts of patriots and liberty loving people, no matter their race or country of origin. He didn't. I looked into this because the ADHD was like, yo, I already know they're lying already. I already know that they're lying already. They're lying already. They're lying. All right. So Lincoln didn't say that. Also in that speech, Lincoln's not talking about black people. In this executive order, he's talking about minorities. Lincoln wasn't talking about. Lincoln made that lightning speech, and it was misquoted. It was misquoted, and he talks about the people that had come together for the 4th of July. He's like, basically, we're real Americans here. It's 4th of July. But guess what? For years and years, we've been celebrating with you people that are from Germany or Scandinavia or France. Basically, like all European nations he was talking about, being brothers and being white, basically. It had nothing to do with black people. Like, them even writing their preamble to their executive order was disingenuous. That is an issue that I have currently with the Republican Party. Like, you're literally really playing in my face about this. I digress. Check out Ta-Nehisi Coates. Great information. Great anecdotes. And he's gonna give you a little thoughts of things that you have been thinking. Maybe you didn't have a word for it. He won't have a word for it. So check this out. I almost crashed out over Executive 13950 F. Almost. All right, let's get into this because I know it's getting late, and I promised Love that I was gonna do an hour, and look where we are now. Hour and a half territory.
You said whenever you want. So.
Oh, did I? Mm-hmm. Oh, well, shit. Let's do it. All right, ladies and gentlemen.
You got one more topic.
This is really the main topic that I really want to talk about, and this is what I want to discuss. President Obama was rallying and campaigning on behalf of Vice President Kamala Harris. I believe this took place in Pennsylvania, Pittsburgh, last Thursday. Yeah. Earlier this week, last Thursday? My brain's tizzy. Anyway. Now, I've seen a lot of, like this title here. It says Obama rips Trump, chides black men over excuses for not voting for Harris. I purposely stayed away from any type of opinion about this. I've seen the headlines. I've seen headlines and thumbnails from black content creators who I knew were going to jump all over this when this happened. But for you, ladies and gentlemen, it's 5 minutes and 6 seconds, but it's President Barack Obama talking. So it's like listening to R. Kelly before we know. Yeah, I'm going to definitely play all 5 minutes for these people.
I haven't watched this.
I know you didn't watch it. You're going to watch it now. But listen to this. I'm about to bring it up. We're going to watch this together. My phone lines are open. Chat is open. Tell me what you think about this. Let's go.
I'm going to go ahead and just speak some truths, if you don't mind, please. Because my understanding, based on reports I'm getting from campaigns and communities, is that we have not yet seen the same kinds of energy and turnout in all quarters of our neighborhoods and communities as we saw when I was running. Now, I also want to say that seems to be more pronounced with the brothers. So if you don't mind, just for a second, I'm going to speak to y'all directly and say that when you have a choice that is this clear, when on the one hand you have somebody who grew up like you, knows you, went to college with you, understands the struggles and pain and joy that comes from those experiences, who's had to work harder and do more and overcome and achieves the second highest office in the land and is putting forward concrete proposals to directly address the things that are vital in our neighborhoods and our communities, from housing to making sure that our mothers and our fathers and our grandparents can afford medicine, and making sure that we are dealing with prices that are too high and rents that are too high, and are committed to making sure that we maintain the Affordable Care Act, so everybody's got help here, and cares about things like education and entrepreneurship in our neighborhoods. And that's on one side. And on the other side, you have someone who has consistently shown disregard, not just for the communities, but for you as a person. And you're thinking about sitting out? But, you know, Cousin Pookie might be. And you're coming up with all kinds of reasons and excuses. I've got a problem with that. Because part of it makes me think, and I'm speaking to men directly now, part of it makes me think that, well, you just aren't feeling the idea of having a woman as president. And you're coming up with other alternatives and other reasons for that. And I think anybody you are talking to in a barbershop, anybody you are talking to in your house, in your family, at church, who is coming with that kind of attitude, I think you have to ask them, well, how can that be? Because the women in our lives have been getting our backs this entire time. They've been raising us and working and having our backs. And when we get in trouble and the system's not working for us, they're the ones who are out there marching and protesting. And so now you're thinking about sitting out or even supporting somebody who has a history of denigrating you because you think that's a sign of strength, because that's what being a man is, putting women down. That's not acceptable. That's not, this shouldn't even be a question.
All right, that's what the former president had to say about that. Listen, all right, so he basically is questioning black men specifically of why are they having issues voting with Kamala Harris. Now, we do have overall the polls that are going out, the black vote. I believe that black men have slipped away from the Democratic side by maybe 12% so far, which is a lot, and it's saying something. And it's really not too hard for me to understand really what's going on. I think that President Obama received criticism for making this speech I don't think that he's chastising black men as a whole. He's talking to a very specific group of voters, of non-voters, or for people who are going to vote, or black men that are going to vote for Donald Trump. And he's questioning why they would do that, specifically when it has been showcased for at least the last decade that Donald Trump don't give a flying fuck about you. Matter of fact, he has gone out of his way. He has gone out of his way in this decade to let you know that he doesn't give a flying fuck about you. And what are my examples? Can I go back to the Central Park 5? I get it. Just like Menendez brothers, we're caught up in this, oh man, yeah, I'm taking out full-page ads. It's crazy, these animals, what they did to this lovely white woman, that we find out that they didn't do it. Does he come correct and say that, hey, I apologize. I'm sorry I was wrong about you guys. The evidence looked like it was you, but it wasn't you, and I'm sorry, and I'm glad that you didn't have to serve time in jail anymore. Did he come out and say that? No, because part of the platform is that you never apologize for anything that you did. Matter of fact, he doubles down on it in 2019. Hell, shit, less than a month ago, when asked about it again on a campaign trail, he doubled back down and said that, hey, that's the right thing to do. And he made excuses saying, oh, these guys are criminals and everything. Like, what is that? But I get it. I can understand why there are black men running away from the Democratic Party. And I understand that there's reasons that many black men aren't voting for the Republican Party. And I will count the top 5 reasons that I came off the top of my head. Now, I think for black men leaving the Democratic Party or deciding that they don't want to vote blue this time, I think it's a feeling that the party has taken their votes for granted. There's been no significant progress on issues like systemic racism and or economic inequality. I get that. I get that they have economic concerns. Belief that the Democratic focus on welfare programs doesn't promote wealth building, leading some to explore Republican economic policies. Or social issues like alienation from Democratic Party's focus on progressive social issues that may conflict with personal or religious beliefs, i.e. Obama was the first LGBTQ president. I'm not LGBTQ. He's did
not
more.
LGBTQ either.
My love. We can more love. This is the we. So obviously chime in.
No
but let me get this out. But when you say that, like, people are saying this, like, yo, I didn't sign up for this. He didn't do anything for black people. He did a lot of things for the Rainbow Coalition, for the Elemental Peas. These are direct things that I have heard coming out of my mouth. Or criminal justice. How about just frustration with the slow pace of the criminal justice process? Or some black men are just appealing to conservatives and find conservatism appealing. They're drawn to Republican ideas like self-reliance and law and order and economic empowerment.
Women are less.
I mean, you could say that,
Yes.
but then we could also, on the other side, talk about why black men aren't voting for the Republican Party, like historical legacy of Southern strategy and marginalizing black communities, redlining black communities, racial insensitivities, like they're always downplaying systemic racism or saying that gaslighting black men and be like, oh, this doesn't exist, and getting rid of DEI programs and executive orders 13950. Why am I cheering?
You mean like my blacks?
Or, my blacks. Or Republican efforts to cut welfare programs which disproportionately support black communities. Maybe that's why they've walked away from Republicans. Or the tough law and order policies and the no-nonsense. Like, yo, you don't even want to understand what's going on in this hood or what the police are doing. You just want to give them immunity. Black people used to vote exclusively Republican. Will Murphy,
I'm looking at this Republican black men in here.
Well, I mean, that is absolutely true, and yes, that is true that the Democrats were they were the Democrats that invented the Ku Klux Klan. But I mean, even at the turn of the 20th century in the early 1900s, you can see mail from and correspondence between congressmen and senators urging each other to go over to the Republicans as early as 1911, just right after the forming of the Ku Klux Klan, and they were mad at basic policies in the South that were just trying to give some rights to enslaved people. So that's kind of how it flipped. We wouldn't say that black people, and I know, I get it, black people used to vote exclusively Republican, but I don't think that they were voting exclusively Republican. I mean, you can call MAGA MAGA, but if MAGA's doing what the Democrats are doing and the Democrats are doing what MAGA are doing, then we can switcheroo. It doesn't matter. Listen, I can't talk about white people and their choices for Donald Trump. I have a lot of opinions that I will not share here, now, or ever, because it really doesn't matter. It matters. It rarely matters to me about these 12%, 12, 13, 14, 15% of black men that aren't going to vote for Kamala either, because I think they're also right. I think they're right. I think black men's votes have been taken for granted by the Democrats. I think they show up every 4 years. They go to a church. They pop up. They throw some hot sauce. They pander. They get our votes. And I understand how frustrating it can be for them to be riding you all on top of you. And then November 6th, oh, thank you, nigger. We're out. You understand can you understand where people are coming from on that effect? Love.
I can talk now?
I can get it. But what I don't, no, you can't. But what I don't get is that, like, there is a, like, we talk about identity politics. We haven't really, like, there was no identity politics really until Obama showed up in 2008. And obviously, like, he got so much of the black vote that they went nuts. That Republicans went nuts. Could it have just been that we were trying to make change, and that there was a competent black man who communicated effectively that they voted for? I mean, because before Obama, there was never an issue of a black or white president. There was never an issue of, oh, you blacks just want to vote for him because he's black. We never had that. There has only been two black candidates, and each time, these candidates come out, the first talking point is you're going to vote for them because they're black. I mean, there has been so many different white candidates. There has been so many white. Listen to me, people. We've seen them all. We've seen fucking morons. We've seen philanderers. We've seen straight criminals. We've seen psychopaths come across there. We voted for some of them. Some of them have been our president. Yo, Barack Obama, whether you like his policies or not, you can't say that. It was an
attractive look for black people.
You can't say that he was stupid. Can't say that he communicated ineffectively. You can't say that he wasn't quote unquote presidential, even though being presidential was thrown out too, because we moved the goalposts when there's people that we kind of like in vying for that seat. Then we have Kamala Harris. We've seen her come up as a prosecutor, law school. She went to law school, became a prosecutor, become the state's attorney, became a senator, became vice president, moved up through those progressions. And the first thing we say is that she did it because she was on her knees doing hawk tours. And we're making hawk tour jokes about, I don't know why I'm hitting the chair, but we're hitting hawk tours, and that's her. That's her. Not only that, Barack Obama is from Kenya. He's not America. I mean, Kamala Harris is an Indian and Irish. She's not black. Like, these are all the things that have become just from the appearance of two non-white people. Mm-hmm. I mean, Nikki Haley can get it off because she can blend in. She can play the role. She can throw on her southern drawl, even though I don't think it's thrown on. She was actually raised out in South Carolina. But I know even in her household, she would still have an accent. You would still be able to. Let's not even explore that. But she doesn't get that. There's one thing Barack Obama can't change. He can't change his skin tone. Mm-hmm. There's one thing that Kamala Harris can't change. She can't change her skin tone. And I think a lot of times that even when we talk about race and just say that, yo, these motherfuckers are racist. They don't like her because she's dark skinned, because she has darker fucking skin. Or is it more than that? I think for a lot of people,
because she's a woman.
and because she's a woman.
And that's what Obama was saying here. We're not like he's saying, he's bringing this into perspective. And this, I think a lot of people took the other side of it, but I think he was talking to black men here, telling them,
Yeah.
you know how your mom takes care of you. You know how your grandmom, your aunt, your sister. Why don't you consider a woman the same way you consider your mother? You don't. Do you not consider your mother? They're the ones that have been there for us. So is the reason why you're not voting because she's a woman? Don't let that stop you. Because they have always have your back. This is what he's telling these men.
And this is, and I bring up those other points because those are also valid points of why people are walking away from the Democratic Party too. But I would also say that, let's not get it twisted, Barack Obama has his ear to the MF and ground. He has people out in the streets. He has people reporting back to him. He has people that are going out there canvassing, talking to people in barbershops, meeting people where they are, and they are reporting all of this back here. And let me tell you what, they will have a conversation with you and put that conversation on a spreadsheet, and then they will label that and filter it down, and you will get categorized by that. So by the time he gets all this data, he's like, oh yeah, but it keeps coming back to this. With this specific group of black men that we're talking to, it's overwhelmingly that she's a woman, and you don't want that. Not to say that there aren't people out there that are, hey, listen, I am conservative and I don't like LGBTQ. I have heard all the things about people trying to be cats and shit and whatever. And I do remember, David, I have not forget, was Jesse Jackson in 84 and 88? Was he 84? 88? He was in the 80s. I remember Uncle Wayne had a button of Jesse Jackson. Yeah. Nobody, yeah. He didn't, yeah, he wasn't going to be the Democratic nominee. I mean, before that, we got Shirley Chisholm. I mean, these guys are, I remember Jesse Jackson crying. I remember Jesse Jackson talking shit on President Obama and then crying at the inauguration. He said something about tearing his balls off or something like that. He wanted to rip his balls off or something like that. Because there's some infighting there. It's politics or whatever. But in this specific election where we have seen and we have heard and we have information of this guy's policies, of not this guy, but his team, his team's policies, what his team plans on doing, what his team has already done, what executive orders he's already signed with lies in the preamble. You got an executive order and you gotta lie. You gotta lie in your executive to make an executive order. It's not like people can vote against your executive order. You're the president. That's like the king's stamp on it. Once you put out an executive order, that's what it is. Why would you even have to lie on that? About easy, verifiable shit, like a fucking Abraham Lincoln speech. I geek out on shit like that. That speech did not say that. Did not convey the message that they were trying to convey in that executive order. That's the fuck shit I'm talking about, F. I mean, if we want to talk about economics, I mean, we can talk about economics. Yeah, Republicans like to cut taxes. Democrats go by the Fed. And I don't know, but in my lifetime, I've seen all the fuckery because these Republicans went and did all these wasteful spendings, and then the Democrat has to get in there and clean that shit up, gives them surplus just for them to fuck it up again. I would love to see, I would like to see two-term presidents that are Democrat. I would like to just see that. 16 years. Let's see what the economy would look like there without interference, without somebody cutting taxes for the rich and then using all that extra money to spend for military.
It's because we're never appeased with what a presidency gives you. There's always someone giving you a promise that, oh, you're gonna give me that? Okay, well this is not giving me this, so I want to see different. Not understanding that stuff takes time. You can't think that someone in 4 years can change every single problem America has. It takes time. I think Obama did a great job, but also I think Obama forgot a lot about the minorities. I think, I also think that a lot of the stuff that he wanted to do, he was not able to because the Congress wasn't on his side. We know the majority during his time was Republican. So a lot of the stuff that he wanted to do, he was not able to. So let's not forget that part. Let's not act like, he didn't do anything for black people. No, the Republicans in the Congress and the House of Representatives said, no, we're not doing what you want. And they literally did not care whether they agreed with him or not. They wanted to go against him.
That's right. Mitch McConnell went on live TV and said, yeah, they're not going to, we're shutting it down. They're not getting anything done.
Everything he brings
I will say, to be fair, in those first 2 years, he did have both the House and the Senate, and he could have did anything. He could have went and did his thing.
In 2 years, he was literally picking up everything that what's his name.
But I think
he literally all the debacle he did in America.
Right, but I'm saying he did have opportunity in his first 2 years. The only reasons why my personal belief is he didn't do it is because, first of all, he is the first black president. And one of his jobs is to make sure that there's another black president and that he does a good enough job where people aren't going to be looking at every other person of color that comes in there like, and let's not act like that shit doesn't exist or, oh, no, we're smarter than that in America because look at the situation we are in now. And then because he wanted to reach across the aisle and actually bring everybody together instead of what has happened and we've just split into two different camps.
Well,
but I believe the splitting absolutely positively didn't even start occurring. I think everything was a little bit more bipartisan before his appearance. His mere appearance, showing up and being competent and actually being a threat to change politics was a catalyst for a lot of this bullshit we see. I didn't see anybody wearing tea bags on their hat until Obama came out.
I'm looking at Will. He says that he didn't choose Kamala. He didn't vote for Harris. She was prepped up for the next in line. Understood, but do we pick Trump, though?
I get that.
The alternative is Trump.
I mean, that's not even my argument. My argument is that, we're in a two-party system. We don't really pick any of these MFs. We don't have I would love to pick my presidents like Chris Tucker was picking them hoes and Rush Hour 2. I'll take that one and you do feet. I would love to pick, but we do not have that. We don't have that choice. And then, absolutely positively, Nancy Pelosi did go on and talk to people and say that, hey, there was an opportunity for other people to step up to the plate, but Kamala stepped up first and she closed her iron fist around it. And I would like to remind people that on the night that Joe Biden basically died on his feet at that at the debate with Trump, the first debate where Trump was just Trump. Terrible, and Joe Biden was like fucking weekend at Bernie's there. I remember feeling so like, oh my God, like what the hell? And you know what? The only thing that made me feel a little warm and fuzzy inside was that maybe 30 minutes later, Kamala Harris comes on and basically goes over the whole debate and fries the shit out of Trump with her policies, and she she communicates effectively. She sounds brilliant. She sounds competent. And I was like, damn. I wish Kamala. I remember right then. That was the only reason why I was able to go to sleep. I was like, damn, like she sounds fucking great. So whether we chose her or not, I mean, if it's coming,
a better choice than Trump.
I mean, if it's coming from the right side, then I don't give a fuck about that argument. Like, you have no say. Stay over there. Y'all got problems over there. But if you're coming from like the blue side and you're like, oh, we didn't choose Kamala and we're having this, then I would also say, MFer, you know what we have to deal with in the next fucking 21 days, 20 days? Like, we don't got time.
Well, Trump already calling Harris dumb. He's calling Harris dumb because he thinks women are only good for one thing, and we know what that is. Trump only think women are good for one thing. Even his daughters. He's even said just very inappropriate things about his daughters. So he's gonna call Harris dumb because all he wants women is for one thing. He doesn't believe women should be good for anything else. So yes, I'm not surprised.
He did tell a prostitute. He did tell a prostitute that she reminded him of his daughter.
He's disgusting.
That's crazy. But I do love that. I don't think it was a chiding. I think Barack Obama was asking the same questions, and he said it way eloquently than I have been able to say it at all. But what he said in these 5 minutes and 6 seconds, courtesy of ABC's News, is something that I've been asking. I've been wanting to ask a lot of black men out there.
You are a black man.
Yeah, but I mean, like black voters that are
Conservative,
gonna vote for Trump. That are gonna vote for Trump. Given
Yeah,
what
like
we
I want to know why they're voting for Trump.
I mean,
like, I seriously want to. No judgment. I just want to know why.
Yeah. That's exactly the yeah. Why? Why not? Why? 313-825-5557. More 3 times.
It's 9:30. You think we gotta work tomorrow?
It is not 9:30. It's 9:24. We got 6 whole minutes.
I didn't know we had a time.
We don't have no times. We don't have no times. But yo, that's really what I got. He can call people dumb, but that's just the way he is. That's just the way he is. He's going for it. Ev Love should run for office. Shit. Yo, oh my God. I should have just plugged your mic up.
Not.
I know I should have, but
not.
I had that piece of pizza in the side, on the side of my stomach. I didn't want to move. I got like 73 cents balance. I can't believe they let me run this low without recharging. That's crazy. I got 73 cents on my balance right now.
For what? For calls?
For calling studio.
Nobody calling
Give me
you.
a call. I'm gonna re-up. But this is about it. If not, did we do this? Did we do everything that we set out to do?
Yes, I do want to remind everybody that our show is on. Well, I'm sorry, your show is on Wednesday nights, not Thursday night anymore. So tune in on Wednesday nights, because Thursday we're watching football.
Yeah, Thursday we're watching football, but we'll be back
I'm
on
playing
Thursday.
fantasy. I need to keep up with this.
Also, sometimes when Evelyn's in the mood, if it's like a Saturday morning and she's got her coffee and something sweet in her, like we might go live and do a Mo Love because I be picking her brain on stuff.
You don't get me coffee though, so I don't know. You may have to start getting.
And that way she has her own mic and it gets crazy. It gets nuts. You know, you guys already seen Mo Love. We be in here bickering and arguing. If we go live, it's gonna be crazy. I be having to edit. I had to edit like we did a Mo Love that was like an hour and a half long. By the time I got done editing it, it was like 8 minutes. I was like, let me throw this thing out.
Not 8 minutes.
She don't be listening. Like you could hear like the wind. Never mind. I say all that to say this. Hey, guys, go out there and register to vote. That's what I was gonna say.
Unless you're voting Republican.
No. Like ultimately, I think I'm thinking positive on everything. You know what I mean? I feel like I am covered in the blood, if you will. I have that little extra sun strip in my eye, that pep in my step. I feel blessed out here, and I feel like this is all going to work out, even if it don't work out the way I think it's going to work out. I know it's going to work out. The one thing that I do like about the non-Democratic black men voters is that I do wholeheartedly agree with that sentiment that the Democratic Party does take our votes for granted. I do think that. I think going in the future, we should be a little bit more unified in the things that we want, and I think that we should be asking for things that we want. I know that Ice Cube started doing it. This is something that we should have been doing this is something that we have been doing, but I think this is something that needs to make a real resurgence and have some staying power behind it. And I hope that even with that Barack Obama keeps his people out in the street, figuring it out more, he will come back with data that says, hey, it's not just about black guys being misogynistic or anything like that. They do have other issues with us, and I hope that they go back and address those issues, because Barack Obama, for better or worse, I think he can make a big stamp on this, because he seems to be the de facto leader of the Democratic Party. He is the unspoken leader of the Democrats. And even when he was talking in this, he kind of sounded like Bill Clinton. Like when he was talking on his speech, either before this speech or after the speech, when he went on stage and he was making his jokes about Donald Trump, he kind of had that like Bill Clinton swag to him, like a little laugh and stuff to him that was on his own. So I would assume that he's been spending a lot of time with Bill and getting that tutelage, because, I mean, whether you like Bill Clinton or not, I mean.
I like Bill Clinton.
I like Bill Clinton. I like what's the boy, my boy from Kentucky without the thing that said he wasn't going to let, like, as politicians.
Yes, Caro. Don't forget to like the show, everybody, before you leave.
And yeah.
David said that our show was lit. Thank you, David.
Thanks, David. I appreciate that.
Appreciate your comments too.
I think the commissioner coming out and clearing up all the fantasy football business that has gone on. Mainline, enjoy that birthday. I hope you're celebrating for like the next 2 months. Yep, for the rest of the year, celebrate. Everybody register to vote. Vote your conscience, and that's all I'm gonna say. You know who I'm going for. You guys see the show. Honestly, it's real. I don't want German Shepherds sicked on me, or fucking fire hydrants opened up on me, or some guy he's talking about he's going to use the U.S. military to take away his political opponents. And I've been doing shows on Donald Trump, so you know I'm a goner. But you know what? I'm going to go. I'm going to go, and I'm going to be like William Wallace. And if they let me choose my death, I'm going to go with, I don't know, guys. What do you think? Let's do a poll. Should the Trump administration string me up? Should they shoot me? Pine Sol heaven me? I don't know.
None of it.
One more chance. Let the kids sing, damn children. Talk shit, getting clicks.
Thanks everyone for showing up tonight.
Yeah, we appreciate y'all. See the chat. We had a lot of views during this. A lot of people came in and out of here. Yo, it's live, but guess what? This thing rewinds. You can watch it all over again, and I hope you do, because I know I'm about to. I appreciate each and every one of you guys coming out. And as soon as I click this theme music, we can be out. See you next time.
Good night, everybody.
Good night. Love was in the house.
Never again, because you shut me up.
I'll be shutting you up. Oh, God. Yo, because sometimes I'll be like this. It's like Harlem Nights. And I'll be like, I'll be shooting, and then you come with your pop gun like, pop.
You be like, it's the wee episode, but shut up.
Yay.
Anyway, I'm tired. I gotta get up at 5:30.
I know you do. So we can do that Mo Love show. Catch me on Undisputed.
How much?
On this Undisputed, the boxing game I was showing people.
Oh, Lord.
Bud got hands.
I can't believe you actually showed that on the show.
I did. I'm so proud of that. I've been showing people at work.
You actually showed it.
I'm like, yo, check this clip out. I won't make you watch the whole thing, but they gotta watch that last round.
Yeah, it's a little bit.
They do.
Just to show off a little.
I gotta hit that button again. Great show. Yeah, we'll be back at it next week. Hit the alerts. If you didn't get an alert and you know you had alerts on, take it off and put it back on, and then we'll see if it works after that. And stay tuned, because we're gonna definitely do Mo Love real soon. I can't. The music's still playing. I got like a 4-minute outro to these people. I don't want to let go. All right, I'm gonna let go. I'm gonna let go. It's like forcing me. It's crazy. Caligula. If anybody saw show 1, you know that's my safe word. I'm saying it. Call these people.